Loki episode 4 is now out on Disney Plus, and I just saw it, and I tell you right now, boy oh boy, is this wow. I mean, my brain is just like, boom. This was just, yeah, this was awesome. This was awesome. So we're going to talk about Loki episode 4. So let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button as well, please. It does help me out, and it helps my channel and videos do better. So please leave a like as well. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss another video as well. We're trying to get to 1,000. We are halfway there. I want to get there by the end of the year, so if you could do that, that'd be awesome. So without further ado, let's talk about Loki episode 4. Okay, so Loki episode 4. Where do I even begin with this whole episode? I mean, this was exactly what I thought we were going to get last episode. We got a lot of information and a lot of new stuff that I really expected to get in the third episode, but we didn't get that. But we got it in this episode, and there were some shocking moments as well that I honestly did not see coming. And now I'm just so excited for episode 5. But where to begin but the start? We now do know 110%, it has been confirmed, Sylvie is indeed Loki. Now, she is the female Loki from her timeline. Now, there was always that particular issue of like, how did she last this long as a variant and the TVA didn't intercept when she was growing up? This was answered at the start as we see her on Asgard and the TVA come in, kidnap her, take her away, and then they reset the timeline, and then we see that Sylvie actually then fights them off, steals Renslayer's, what's it called, little device thing, and then boom, she's out of there, and she's on the run for her whole entire, like, life, basically, until we see her now. She's on the run, and, you know, she starts to realize where she can hide and where she can't hide, and that's how she's been doing what she's been doing. So that was answered. That was cool. But then we move to Morbius. It's Mobius. I mean, Morbius and Mobius. Oh, I always get them confused. Mobius is there. They're trying to figure out where she is. And then we find out that the young lady that was enchanted in episode 2, I believe, is actually being deceased. And that's going to come back later on in the episode. But we now find out that Loki and Sylvie are sitting there on the planet. They're having a moment in that, and then a Nexus event happens. Now, this shouldn't happen. There should be no Nexus event when there's a planet that is about to be destroyed or big apocalyptic moment. Because nothing you do there matters because you're going to be destroyed. However, something happens and there is a Nexus event between the two Lokis, which then allows the TVA to find them, come in, and bring them in. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. I mean, really interesting. Sylvie gets taken off separately. Loki goes with Mobius, and then Loki gets put into this like time loop as punishment, and we see Lady Sif. I'm so glad we got to see Lady Sif back. I love Lady Sif, and it's awesome to see her back, even if it's just walking, punching Loki in the nuts because he cut off her hair and he's reliving that thing, and he's sort of having a moment of like, yeah, I kind of fucked up in this moment. But then we also go back to Mobius, who is starting to probe and ask questions of Renslayer and just trying to figure things out because Loki tells him that the TVA has been lying to him. So he's trying to probe it. He has a conversation with Loki about it. Loki tries to tell him, look, you are variants like me, gives him the big spiel, and then Loki gets put back in the time loop. He comes out of, Mobius comes out of there and goes in and talks to Renslayer to sign off the paperwork and stuff like that. He actually swaps his device and her device around, and he goes out and he actually looks up the young lady that was enchanted, and he sees a video of her explaining that she had memories and that she was actually a variant and she had a life before the TVA came. Now Mobius knows that everything he knows is a lie. So he goes back to see Loki and he's like, yo, you're right. Everything that you say is correct, which is pretty cool. But then we go over to Sylvie and the other lady, I forget her name. She's B something, B10 or whatever. She's the dark lady. She was enchanted in the second episode as well. So she knows about these memories and that. So she goes in and sees Sylvie herself. They go off into a apocalyptic moment. And basically she is exposed again. And Sylvie tells her, I can't create the memories. They are already there. I can only bring them out. So she is now 100% wary that she is a variant. Things are really starting to heat up. And then we also go back around to Loki and Mobius, who then come out of the time loop. And basically, Renslayer and the rest of the TV and that are all standing there. And we're like, okay, wow, they know. And then the shockingest thing happens. Owen Wilson, Mobius, gets melted, erased, whatever you want to call that. He gets that done to him. And I thought what was really, really good was Loki's reaction to that. Loki considered Mobius a friend, and it really hurt him. And you could see the tears in his eyes. And I just remember sitting there and be like, they fucked up now. They really messed up. You pissed Loki off. This is the guy that Loki really got attached to and really felt like a friend, and that he wasn't alone because he had Mobius there as a friend who was there with him, helping him through the struggle and realizing who he really is. And now it's been taken in front of him. It was pretty powerful, and I didn't expect to see it this early. I sort of, yeah, okay, I could see Mobius getting zapped, but to see him zapped this early, I don't know. But anyway, so they get taken to the golden elevator. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're actually going to see the Timekeepers. They go up, there they are, the 3 Timekeepers, they're having a talk, and Loki and Sylvie are basically telling them what they're doing is completely wrong, and like all this stuff. And then B10, she shows up, and she says she knows everything now. So then a big fight breaks out, all that happens, and then they beat them all, and then Loki and Sylvie are staring at the Timekeepers. She throws, is it she or Loki? One of them throws their sword and cuts off one of the Timekeepers' heads. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay, so what's going on here? However, it turns out the Timekeepers that were there are actually robots. They're androids. They're not real. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, so what the hell is actually going on now? And that they asked the same question that I asked. Loki was like, so who created the TVA then? Who created this? That's the big question now. That's the big moment. And then the biggest shock of the actual thing is Renslayer is actually not like knocked out or anything. She gets up when Loki's having this connection with Sylvie and talking about what happened, about the Nexus event that they caused. Bam. Loki gets melted, zapped, whatever you want to call, and he's gone. I was shocked. And then we see Sylvie then disarms her, and instead of zapping her, she goes, you are going to tell me everything. And then that's where it stops. We get a post-credit scene of Loki waking up. We get a post-credit scene of Loki waking up in some dimension or something like that, and there is other Loki variants there. So obviously when you get zapped, you go somewhere, and we're going to find out next episode where Loki is. We're going to find out a lot more. Is Mobius still alive? I don't know. Is there going to be multiple Mobius? This is the questions we have. Things are opening wide up. Who are behind the Timekeepers if they're not real? Who is running this show? Where is this? What is actually behind everything? I think the next episode is going to be the big reveal of a lot more stuff. We're going to find out who is behind the Timekeepers. We're going to find out where this planet is, or wherever the Loki variants are, and what is actually going on. But I'm excited. I love this episode. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Hit like, click subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.